to my computer. So I wanted to continue. So today I was going to continue like the conversation around the holidays. Obviously, we have Thanksgiving coming up, seeing where you guys are all at with that. But then I was compelled. This has been happening to me lately. This morning, just pivot. And what really was coming to me is the same 24 hours in the day, like this conversation about prioritizing ourselves. And how it came up, guys, is I literally, like, it wasn't even this morning. I just had a download from a reel that I had seen. I don't even think it was yesterday. It might have been last week, about somebody talking about how it's unfair to say we all have the same 24 hours in a day. That, and I'm just going to use the example that they used, and I know many of you are this, that a mother doesn't have the same 24 hours that somebody else does. And I'm literally actually going to do a reaction reel to this because I call bullshit. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It is how we allocate and use them. So what I mean by this and where I'm going with it is, like, we like to say, well, somebody has more hours in a day than somebody else. Well, the reality is I'm sorry to tell you, there's 24 hours in a day, period, the end. It's how we decide or we choose to use them. So it's always up to choice. And that choice is how we choose to prioritize it, meaning what do we allow in? So do we choose to prioritize work over balance? Do we choose to prioritize work over family, family over me time? The hours are there no matter what. And you can say, oh, but Jules, you're not a mom. You don't know. I have the same 24 hours. It's how I choose to allocate them. I'm busy just like anybody else is. I get to choose how I want to manage those hours. I've been as busy, if not busier, than probably a parent at one point in time in my life. But where I want to go with this is, I think it was triggered today because I was also listening to a podcast that was talking about how we organize our days. So, like, you've heard me talk about powering up before in the day. Like, we talk about meditation, we talk about having a morning routine, we talk about all of these things. And I see some of you are like doing it. Louise is out getting her walk in. I know, Bridget, we've had conversations around, like, you do have a strong morning routine. I know Stacy does. Rita is probably getting ready for work to go to the gym right now. Like, we have these action plans, and that's awesome. Like, we get ourselves like into this place of, all right, we're ready for the day. We're going to take it on. And the piece that what was being talked about in this podcast is, then it is about taking and planning. And that's the piece that we miss. Like, we have, for example, all these great ideas and things and tasks, and they live in chaos. How many of you can feel like you become abundant, you have a lot of shit going on, you got lots coming in, you have lots to be grateful for, but you're living in the Charlie Brown? Jen, you're living in Charlie Brown, right? You're living in Charlie, it's got chaos. So it's about, we have to learn to, like, control the chaos. And controlling the chaos is just creating a plan. Like, so thinking about, and this is what they talked about, is like structuring. So we talk about this with the holidays too, a little bit about creating a plan on, like, what events do you want to go to? What is a priority? Taking your day, your week, your month, and creating a plan. So, what is it you ultimately want to do? What's that impossible thing that you want to do? I want to create a better body. Great. I want to create a better life. I want whatever it is. Let's just stick with body. So then, how do you chunk that down into what it looks like every day to create that space, whatever that goal is? So, like, by month, by week, by day, and having like a target list every day. Think about doing more with less, because we do have that time. So Most recently, I'm walking on the treadmill today. It's 8:30. I have managed to meditate, journal, stack, whatever you want to say. I watched something on business. I took some ideas down. I brushed my teeth, washed my face, did my lift, did the stairs. I'm currently sitting at 7,000 steps. I have a 10 before 10 list. And I realized that, fuck, my day's going to go a little sideways today. Fuck, I need to be a little bit more prepared to, like, I need to be set up for success earlier. I need to start my day earlier. I need to be sitting here at home at 8 o'clock, getting ready to execute my day. And yet I'm still walking on the stairs, or I'm still walking on the treadmill after my workout. My brain went, guess you got to get up earlier. Guess you got to get up earlier, Jules. I get up at 3:45 a.m. Guess you're getting up at 3. Reality. Nothing's going to change. I just got to make sure that I don't screw around at night and I go to bed. I can still get 6 hours of sleep, 7 hours of sleep, whatever I choose. I just have to structure my day appropriately. I also need to look for the holes in my day. When we don't have enough time, a lot of times, guilty, fucking guilty, guys. We have pockets of time that we are wasting, and it may not look the same for everybody. For me, I get lost in social media. Why? Because I'm supposed to spend, well, I don't supposed to, but I spend some time researching daily people that are similar to me, right? So that's part of, like, how are they marketing themselves? What are they doing? Like, just doing a research. I should do it for 30 minutes a day, period, at the end. And I could totally cross do that, right? Cross do that with, like, kill time with that while I'm on the treadmill and not touch it again, to get on social media, post, and be done with it. But I can also find myself lost in there. And sometimes we do these things because the chaos, I got a point, guys, the chaos comes in. And the chaos is there because we don't have a structured plan. We don't have a target or a hit list for the day. So shit starts to spiral out of control. And then if you're anything like me, you get over-analysis paralysis. Ever had that? Over-analysis, Bridget's nodding her head. Exactly. Over-analysis paralysis. Fuck, I don't know where to go next. Now we have wasted more time because we have found a way to distract ourselves, to paralyze ourselves in the chaos, because the chaos is too much. So my simple thought process here is making part of that day, creating a plan, guys. Like, create, like, this is what my morning looks like. These are the things, and you've heard me say this before. Put the rocks in the vase first. That's you. So take the vase. I don't have a vase in front of me. Take the vase and put the rocks in. These are the things that must happen every day. I must take care of myself. I must go for a walk. This is the minimum of it, that it's 30 minutes a day. It's whatever it is. I must go to the gym. That rock goes in, it's on my schedule. I must, these are the things. It could even be take my kids here, do this, but be really realistic with yourself and ask yourself, do I really need to do that? Could somebody else do that? We often say we need to do all these things. Why do we say we need to do all these things? Because we're females.
We're fucking women.
Exactly. We're fucking females. And we are afraid that if we drop the ball, we will look like we're failing, and I know this because it's true for me too. Oh my God, what if somebody does it better? Now I'm not needed. My life is over. Can you relate? Somebody might do it better. Shit. I lived through that in my corporate job. Oh, but
That's my problem too. I think that nobody could do it better than me anyways, which is stupid. Like, like for example, like putting the dishes away. Like I fucking hate doing the dishes, right? So my oldest son does the dishes. That's his job, his chore. But he always ends up putting it in the wrong fucking place. But that's something that I need to let go of because who fucking cares if it's in the wrong place? Like I just ask him, where did you put this? And then he's like, "Oh, I know exactly where it is." So like again, it's delegating those responsibilities and taking things off of our plates that we really have no business doing anyways, that somebody else is perfectly capable of doing it and just letting go of that control. That's just me.
oh, that's great. And to pivot that, and it could still look like this in a family, but even to pivot it towards you, Bridget, because I kind of understand, and even like in the business world, think about it this way. If we don't empower the people around us, so it even could be in Jen's case, the kids, but if we don't empower the kids, people around us, and allow them to step up and do things and do them incorrectly, they will never learn. So we keep the shit on our plate. But as a leader, whether it's a leader of a family, a leader of a business, a entrepreneur leader, I know it's hard. I hate letting go of shit. Ask Jen. But we have to learn to let go, because if we don't allow a mistake to happen, those children, people around us will never learn. Never learn. And we're not doing anybody any favors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. When you put it in that perspective, it like changes everything, you know?
You have to empower people to make a mistake, because then from a business point of view, guys, those of you that like are in a business world and you're running a business, you're an entrepreneur, think of it this way. If you don't allow the people around you to make mistakes, you can't expect them to rise to an occasion. Like, you're not empowering them, you're not putting them in a place where they can excel and move forward in a company. You have to allow them to fall down. That's how they learn. And if you think about it this way, guys, there's nothing in this world, as Jen just said, that is going to be earth shattering. Unless you have a job as a surgeon and you are in surgery, and the whoever is doing surgery next to you fucks something up, okay, now we got a problem. Okay. If you're doing heart surgery, we have a problem. But other than that, if somebody drops the ball, nobody's going to die unless you're a doctor. Agreed. So
Agreed.
looking at it like that, zooming out, creating a plan, putting yourself first and figuring that out, and then just sticking to it. So like, when I come back to the beginning of it and then I'll open it up, we all have the same 24 hours. It's how we choose to use them. And to say that we don't, and that somebody else's 24 hours looks different, is really unfair, because that's saying that the soccer mom is got less time than the mom that's running a multi-million company and is a parent too, or vice versa. Like, we don't know anybody else's life. Does that make sense, guys? So like, that really sparked me off, because I was like, no, we actually do all have the same 24 hours. But if we choose to use those 24 hours in such a way that we don't have time for ourselves, and I'm not picking on anybody here, but that is our choice, right? Bridget, you're making a choice, right? You know that. Yeah, she's shaking her head. Yes, she's like, that's my choice. And so it's about reframing that. And now, what can I do? Because if I'm important, if my goals are important, if I want these things, okay, great. Now we're aware. Creating the awareness is the first step. Then to ask the questions, that's where these 13 questions come in. So great, guys. You can continue to use them. The first set of them is creating awareness. You can go back and go, holy shit, she just said something that made all the sense in the world, and go back to those questions and run yourself through them in just this aspect. You can use it in time because it's going to create the awareness. The awareness will help you find the whole. Once you find the whole, you then create the solution and the plan around it. It's not going to be perfect. You'll have to do it over and over again, and over and over. And then when you think you got it right, guess what? Fuck me, I'm going to have to do it again. Like, that's life. That is just life. So that's my spiel on the same 24 hours. Comments, questions, thoughts? Hi, Lisa. Speaking of 24 hours, God knows what time it is where she is.
It's only 5:20. I realized I can make the morning call. I was sitting here working and I was like, I mean, we get off early. I have a lot to do. And so I was like, oh, wait, I can like jump on this call and like listen in a little bit. So I'm figuring it out little by little.
Well, I won't say good morning. Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening.
So I only caught a little bit of that, but so I don't really have a comment. I'm sorry because I just got on, but
Sorry, my
I
phone
think
decided to
for the
ring.
gist.
Just talking about the 24 hours.
That everyone has
Mm-hmm.
and what we do with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just that. Bridget, jump in. You started out with those 24 hours. You started, well, you didn't start it. I came here with a plan, but you're the one who speared me.
Okay, I'm off mute, right?
Yeah.
All right. Um, yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, it is a choice. I mean, it's a choice every day. Ah, no, right, you're shoot.
I can still hear you.
Okay. Um, my ears are too small and my earbuds always fall out of my ears. Anyways, first world problems, right? But no, it's definitely a choice, but it's recognizing that you're making the choice in that moment and not letting it happen to you. So I think that's where I personally need to work on, like owning the time, right? Versus like letting it happen.
I like that. Recognizing it in the space and time it's happening. Like, stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like having the plan like the day before. I think that's such a great thing to do like on a nightly routine, which not groundbreaking, right? Like it's like, oh yeah, duh. But just like taking inventory about your next day and your task and what you want to get accomplished, like from a personal, holistic standpoint, is something that I really don't do. It's just like, okay, what's coming at me next? And just like taking that moment.
Yeah. So, but you're not alone, Bridget. So that's like literally what I was talking about. Like, that's what we do. We go, oh, what's coming next? And we're literally standing in front of a like, and then think about it. That's what we feel like, we're standing in the middle of fire
Yeah.
because that's what's happening. But we're allowing it, like you said, to happen. So we wake up and we go, let's just jump into the chaos this morning and see, today and see what's happening. But you're right. Like, if we have that plan, which sounds like so simple, then at least we have some structure.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not alone. I mean, I can we attest that somebody in here has experienced the same thing. We put ourselves in front of rapid fire.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder why we get to the end of the day and go, what the fuck did I do today? Because we stood in front of rapid fire versus creating a super simple, structured plan. I'm guilty of it. Yeah.
And I just like, just to say this for me, and I talked to Jules about this recently, like being in this environment, my structure is the only thing keeping me sane. If I didn't have that foundation, I promise you guys, I think I'd be losing my mind. And it is, the structure just really creates a sense of peace and knowing what to expect. And like, I know, even though I'm tired and I know it's whatever, I'm going to leave here. I'm going to change. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat. Like, I've created a routine that mirrors my routine back at home the best that I can. And it's just so powerful to have that.
I love that. And I want to add on to that. So, what she's saying, that for those of you guys that travel and the holidays are coming up, so to mirror in and put this into perspective and pull it into the holidays, when I would travel, so what Lisa's talking about, like she created that plan and that structure, and if she didn't have it, she wouldn't have the peace. So when I lived a life of crazy ass travel all over the goddamn place all the time, and I was trying to do multiple things, change my body, change my fitness, change my life. I had multiple balls in the air, the same 24 hours. That is exactly what I did. My structure, and God knows why I decided to toss it out the window for a while. But that I completely understand what Lisa's saying. So when I would travel, that structure would go with me. And I still do. Like I try to not miss anything that I do, even when I travel. My days look the same, whether I am here in Raleigh, North Carolina, or I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, or if I'm on a plane to London or whatever it might be, my structure doesn't change. And that, to like what Lisa said, and the reason for it is I discovered, just like she said, it gave me a sense of peace. Like, and I would do this right down to, if I light candles in my house every night, then I would bring a travel candle with me. Like right down to that T, because that sense, having my food, like a lot of you guys are like, what am I going to do? I'm traveling. I can't have all my food. This is why when I would land from a plane, whether I rented a car or got into an Uber, it did not matter. The very first stop that I made was a grocery store. I didn't give a shit if I was in an Uber. I created the space and the time that I had enough time from when I landed to when I would pick up my rental car, that whatever I had to do, like I created plans right down to the T. Sometimes I would fly in a day early and leave a day later. So my plan, my structure wouldn't get fucked up. But I would land, go to a store, whatever food I needed that I couldn't have brought with me, I went and got. I always got water, always. And then I went to my hotel. And like literally, because if I didn't have these things in place, chaos would happen when I traveled. And I would fall off my plan. The structure wouldn't happen. I'd be pissed at myself. I'd be irritated. My stress level would elevate because now I felt guilty because I fucking missed. And I'm not mad at anybody but myself. And guys, you guys do this on a daily basis, even if you're at home. So think about it. When you miss, you're just pissing yourself off, adding to your stress. I don't care who you are. You don't throw that shit aside. You wake up the next morning, you're irritated. You go to bed that night pissed at yourself because you missed. And now you've elevated your stress level. So create the plan. That's like a safety net around you. It feels good. So thanks for launching me into that, Lisa. But literally, I would have, so I completely understand what she's feeling, because if I didn't have that sense of security around me, everything was lost. That's why, like, whether I'm here, if I go to Las Vegas, guys, I order my food. I order it from Foodie Fit. If I don't have Long Life deliver it to my door, then I have an order space there. I literally leave the airport. I drive right there. I pick it up. I go to the grocery store. You can ask the girl that I stay with. I pick up my water, my oats, or I ask her to do it for me, and I drive and I come show up at her door with 2 suitcases, a grocery bag, and all my food. I'm good. It's a sense of security. If I don't do that, shit hits the fan. I keep my same schedule, no matter what time zone I'm on. If I have to adjust my flight so that I don't miss the gym, I create my schedule around what is going to accommodate me. I don't miss shit. I still get everything done, but I create my schedule to accommodate me and my goals. So if I have fasted cardio because I'm competing, and then and the only direct flight on Delta is a red eye in the morning, great, I'm flying in the day before. I literally will structure shit like that. I used to do it when I was in the corporate world. They didn't question it. Like, why are you going in a day earlier? I literally would say, because I have a fucking fitness routine. And I ain't fucking with it. I ain't flying in an hour before I'm meeting. They don't always like it, but I respect it. I didn't care. You want me to work for you? Great. I'm flying in a day early. Why are you flying in a day late? Because I got to get to the gym after this. I stayed in the meeting until 8 o'clock at night. I got shit to do. I can't get on a flight and go home. I did my job all day. Now I got to take care of me. I'm not getting on an airplane. Makes sense? Like, there's different ways of looking at it, but I literally, Bridget, like, I had to, like, I'm like identifying with you. I had to like really put my foot down, and it wasn't with the company. It was with me. It was with me. I matter. And I still got everything done. Nothing fell apart. You want me to go to this evening event? Great. You also want me to be in this course from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. I'm going to get my happy ass out of bed early. I am going to go to the gym very early in the morning so I can show up and be present at this meeting at 8 a.m. and I can help lead and run it. And I'm going to stay in this meeting till 8 p.m. like you're asking me to. But that evening dinner where you want me to go schmooze, I'll show up. I'm going to do what you're asking me to do, but I'm going to the gym first. See what I'm saying? But Jules, don't but Jules me. I just got my fucking ass up at 3 a.m. Went to the goddamn gym, did my shit. Don't you tell me that I got to do this. I'm going to show up. I'm going to rub elbows. I'm going to schmooze, but I ain't eating the food. I'm going to go back to my room. I'm going to eat my meal. I'm going to go do, like, I'm telling you a real life situation. Real life situation. Literally think they were trying to like really put the pressure on me and jinx me and see how much I could handle, because they were getting really sick and tired of my fitness. I was like, fucking bring it on. Bring it on. But you see what I mean? Like, but like, so take that example, guys, and learn to look at it in the different aspects of your life. It's doable. It almost becomes a challenge. All right, great. How am I going to do this? Like, even for me today, I was like, well, I guess you're going to have to get up at 3 a.m. And it's because I didn't want to give anything up. You're like, well, what are you doing at fucking 3 a.m. in the morning, Jules? Well, I actually like a certain amount of time to get moving in the morning. And I'm not just sitting on my ass. I like to get up, drink some coffee, I meditate a little bit. Sometimes it takes me a little longer than others. Do some journal. I'm like moving around all morning. Look at my step counter. Around all morning. But then, like, I just realized, like, if you want that time and you don't want to give that up, then you're going to have to get up a little bit earlier to get this all in. Because if your goal is to be home at 8 a.m., taking a shower, getting ready for the day so you can execute it, then that's what you're going to have to do, sunshine. Suck it up, buttercup. Little conversations I have with myself. Suck it up, buttercup. So don't think I just hold you guys accountable to shit. The conversations I have with myself are very similar. Who do you think you are, Jules? All right. Is this helpful?
Yep.
Awesome. Who has a plan for Thanksgiving Day? Raise your hand. Sweet. Is everybody going to get some type of exercise in? Yes. Awesome. So you've created that space. You have a plan. Are we eating all our food before we go?
Yes.
Saving any calories? Awesome.
No.
Great. You all are going to be winners. I can't wait to see. Remember, our goal is to just hold steady through the holidays. We're just going to hold on. We're not going to try to crack any miracles and lose major amounts of weight, but we're not going to gain anything either. We're just going to kind of like sail on through it. Lisa's saying
The song. It's a song. Oh my gosh. Yes. Let me share with you. We work on Thanksgiving and maybe like a half a day. So I'm gonna run a 5K, even though I know I'm not really supposed to run, but it's kind of like a thing here. It's like a thing. I'll probably walk it because I don't care how long it takes me. But or maybe I won't do it since we have to work. It doesn't matter. Anyway, and then I'm probably gonna not do anything but work. So everybody enjoy your holiday. I'm gonna enjoy working.
But we all like, yeah, that's a choice. Like, I like what you said. Like, that's me too. I don't have like, I've always been like that. For Thanksgiving, I've never really, besides the time when I was like a child, never really did much with it.
Yeah.
So I'll probably use it. I actually like it as a work time because y'all are quiet and I can just like dive in. I got no noise happening. I'm like, yes. Even when I was in the corporate world, I used to love the holidays, kind of like Bridget was like, I love Thanksgiving week. I did too, because I was like, damn, I can just rifle shit off, get caught up on stuff because nobody wants me, nobody needs me. It's amazing. So I feel you, Lisa. But again, that's a plan. Choosing how to use your time. I love it.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any revelations on the 24 hours?
Yeah. I just wanted to add to what you said at the beginning when you said that, you know, they were whoever on the reel was saying that we don't all have how can you say that we all have the same 24 hours? But I was thinking that, if we're comparing ourselves to others, it just goes back to, it's hard. Being single is hard. Being a mother is hard. Like being in the corporate world is hard. Having your own business is hard. Like choose your hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, our tradition, our family, our new family tradition is going camping, of course, because I love being outdoors and going camping and getting dirty and making those memories and having fun. And so I'm like not a big like Thanksgiving dinner. I like to eat it because I like the food, but I don't like fucking making it. And I don't like spending all day in the fucking kitchen serving and making for other people who don't even fucking care about turkey anyways. Like my husband, he hates turkey. So I'm like, why the fuck am I gonna do this big old spread when nobody fucking gives a shit? We could do hamburgers and I'll just have my turkey burger and like all will be well. So we're going to be out in the desert and, getting dirty and enjoying the outdoors. And
Yeah.
that's where I'll be.
Yeah.
Although I do want that pumpkin pie.
There you go. Protein pumpkin pie. Are you gonna make?
Yes, yes. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make like little ones, like tiny
Oh,
little ones.
fun. Yes.
So, and then I don't know what the crust was, but like an almond, I was thinking an almond flour with almond crust would be a good, healthier version too. So
Yeah. I love
I'll
it.
share it in the group. And then I always have my kids try it because, you know, I'm in prep right now. So who knows? I might be able to. It might be okay.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
You're far enough up.
So I'll share it in the group though and tell you how it was. The kids always are honest with me about how it is. My husband is like really he doesn't like the healthy stuff. He likes the sugar, but he's doing much better. But yeah.
No, it's true. Like what you said, it is very true. Like it is judgmental to judge. You're right. Like you don't know what it's like to be single. You don't know what it's like to be a parent. So for somebody to say that, like it does trigger me because I'm like, really? Do you know what it's like to be single? Do you know what it's like to have to do everything your fucking self?
Right. Right. Well,
Yeah.
and like you said, you have to hold yourself accountable. You don't have anybody that's pushing you and saying, okay, let's get up and do this. Like I have my husband who pushes me to be a better version of myself, and I push him to be a better version of himself. And you don't, you have yourself. So like, it is all hard. We
It's
don't know.
No, we don't know. I love the way you put that. Yes, it clearly, like I said, it triggered me, but it all fell together.
Yes.
Then I listened to a podcast on creating. So think about this. So just to finish it out, like to give you some ideas, like this podcast that I was listening to, it's like a series that I'm listening to. And what they talked about, this might help Bridget, is basically having an idealist. And that ideal list is like anything that comes into your head. Because how many of us have had ideas? We write them down and we fucking forget about them. We're out on a walk. We're blah 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 blah. So having like an ideal list where you just fucking dump ideas. Like if it comes to you in the middle of a meditation, whatever, you just dump that idea down. Having a hot list. These are things that you want to get done. And it doesn't, that hot list doesn't have to be something that's going to get done today. It could be a year from now, but it's on your hot list. From your hot list, you create action lists. Like you create a do list, a to-do list. Once it's off, it just moves from list to list. So it comes from the hot list, it goes on to a to-do list. Like these are the things, like then it moves on to the do list for the day. Once it's completed, it moves to done. And hopefully it just brought you some type of like prosperity or abundance in some way, shape, or form because you've now completed it. So like I'm going to do a podcast. Podcast was an idea. Sat on that idea list for a while. Now it's over on my to-do list. So there's things that I have to take action on. Like I have to break it apart. Like, and I'll just keep moving it, but it's on a hot list because it's like, fuck, I need that done. And that's my goal is the 1st of January. So it has to move through these lists. But it could have sat on a hot list for a while, but it had to kind of move its way to a little bit more of an importance. You can prioritize whatever, but creating those lists and moving things through, like I would say idea, hot list, to-do list, done list, kind of thing. Make sense? Might help. Get it out of here, Bridget. Get it out of here, peeps. Like, don't let it live in this chaos. Get it out, out, out. All right. That's all I got. Hopefully it was valuable. Is it valuable, Stacy? She's over there quietly working.
I couldn't get off of mute. It is. We all have the same 24 hours, but I'm not a mama either. So, I've heard that and I've heard people complain that about me before. that I don't know, how dare I, blah, 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 all the things. And I've been single and, you know, putting myself through college, was in part-time guard at the time and worked 2 jobs, when I was in ROTC as well. And so I will speak to the single thing. It's very, very hard. And even when my husband goes out of town or when I'm on a deployment or somewhere gone, it's a lot harder because you don't have that other person helping you. You're doing all the things by yourself. But I will say the biggest winner for me has been, you know, I have to get up early in the morning. But I have to be careful because if I don't get an adequate amount of sleep, I get migraines. It's a trigger for me. So, you know, for me, I'm like, oh, well, I just won't sleep. Yeah. Well, there's a consequence for me when I do that, which is kind of good in a way because I make sure I get my sleep. But when I don't, I end up with a lot of migraines. But I'll get up earlier, so I backwards plan that. And then any of the gaps that I have, like downtime in the day, like there's very little time like to sit mindlessly and just like scroll through the TV or just sit on media. Right. And just because I can get lost in Amazon for 2 hours, like bam, gone.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just it's like, I'm like, I'm like, where did the time go? Oh my God, I've got things to do. But staying active and just keep going. And then I notice when I live that way, I sleep better at night too. And I think that is a direct correlation. Well, I know for me, that's a direct correlation because then I have peace of mind knowing that I got the things done. I feel good about it. And I've exhausted myself. Maybe exhausted is a dramatic word for that, but I've expelled enough energy that day that I feel really tired. Like my bed feels cozier and softer and comfier. And now that I'm in the new house, I get to take my bubble baths again. And that's also a good way to help me sleep because there for a while I was having a really hard time with that. But all those little things add up. It's just like the baby steps that we talk about. Get your workout. It's not all or none. Okay, you missed yesterday. Get back on the horse, get to the gym. All the little things that you do during the day or don't do accumulate. Mm-hmm. And then it turns into this big like monster in the back of your head. Like you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do that. And then you go to bed, it's still there. I don't know if men do that or not. I feel like that's very female. I do. We're crazy that way. We want everything to be perfect. Mm-hmm. And we want to make things good for everybody else. So then stop watching TV, get off the social media. I'm not saying you can never do it. I mean, I watched a little bit of YouTube as I was falling asleep last night. And I know I'm not supposed to do that, but I was looking at some things decorating and just kind of some things that I'm doing now, or I'll be reading about, you know, something that I've got a project going on in my new role. But my point is, if I waste 5 minutes here, 30 minutes there, an hour there, then I've got 3 hours that I could have been doing these other things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the reality.
It's self-awareness.
Yeah.
And we're all going to do it. So like, it's checking yourself. Like you just said, it's not always social media. Like, yeah, we can get lost in Amazon. So like, you know, it's catching, you know, and Bridget said too, it's like self-awareness, catching it. So catching yourself in the act and then be like, oh shit. Yeah. Okay. This is what I'm doing. All right. I'm self-aware now. Now I have to like to yourself because it is, we don't think about those things. We get lost in them. Amazon scrolling, we get lost. Here, somebody's on TikTok looking for the newest, you know, like I just said to somebody, you spend more time scrolling on TikTok looking for a workout. You need a plan. Like you guys all have a plan. But then there's the people I see at the gym that are, you know, wasting their time at the gym because they don't have a plan and they're trying to find numerous workouts to do. But yeah, that's a very good
It's strategic. It's strategic in nature. The way that we're living our lives is strategic because we're doing it with a purpose. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why we're doing the things that we're doing. And if you make those, even if it's downtime, Sometimes you got to have downtime. Sometimes you got to have girl time. You got to have family time. You got to have, a little bit of time with your pet, whatever. That's strategic too. Build that in.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah. That's
Love
my
it.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Now we all have a great plan, right? I love it. Good stuff, guys. Good shit. Love the shares. Louisa, Rita, you need to add into this. You both can't get off mute. You crack me up.
Sometimes it's hard with the phones. No, my life is always planned out. So, like I heard, I don't know if it was Bridget or Lisa, but I have to look at my schedule, like my workout, my meal plan every night before I go to bed, even though I kind of know what it is. So I can plan and then figure out how many hours for work and then decide there. But this week's kind of a nice week because it's Thanksgiving week. And I can do my workouts after work and not stress out so much by waking up early in the morning. But I'm a morning person. If I'm not up in the morning, then I feel like my day's been wasted. So, just time is important. You guys get lost scrolling. I get lost in my books. So hours fly by, and I put a timer because I will just sink into a book and finish it in one sitting and lose like, I don't know, 6 hours without even knowing it. So, anyways, yes, I have to plan everything. Everything is strategic, like Stacy said. It's just time management of everything. So, but I have plan and I love my workout routine because it's a plan at the gym and I don't have to stress about that. So it makes my life easier.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jules, I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like for me, like sitting down and reading sometimes is almost meditative. It's like it frees my mind. So but it's different than if I'm on social media for me. Sitting down and reading a book is downtime for me where I can just release. It's almost a form of escapism. It's a relaxing time for my mind. I'm working my mind, but it's not drama and it's not this click, 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 click. It's just different. So I feel like, and I read a lot right now, but not as much for pleasure at the moment. But I feel like building in time to read is a healthy thing. I don't know how you feel about that, Jules, but I do.
No, I think it's totally, and like I said before, guys, your sources of meditation, how you meditate look really different for everybody. You know what I mean? Like some people it's walking, some people it's reading, some people it's both. Like I think reading is super important. And I actually think that Stacy, building in time to read for pleasure is a good idea because it's way different than, research reading and things like that. Like I totally agree. I should read more. I should definitely, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I like to listen to shit. I don't know. I used to read more. Now I still read, but I listen to it. Like I like to multitask. I'm like doing 50 million things at one time, but I absolutely love that idea. Louisa, did you want to add something?
Oh, there we go. Struggling with technology. Yeah, no, it's true. Like I go through a lot with my job. Like I'm a massage therapist and a dance instructor, and then I teach Pilates on the side. So it's a lot sometimes. But I have to either get up early or I'll just do late workouts, or sleep in and then just do another late workout. Like I have to sleep, otherwise I just can't function. But because I don't want to massage somebody and fall asleep on them. That's like the worst fear. That would be like embarrassing. But yeah, like you just have to find time and, if you have family, they have to understand it. They have to, help you out. And if they don't, then, you got to figure it out. But, I struggle with that all the time too, but I figure it out. It's just, I mean, I write things down too all the time because I can't remember stuff sometimes. So writing things down and then, oh yeah, that's what I need to do. So that's how, I mean, what you said, I like how you have a hot list and then a to-do list. So I'm going to do that because I think that's going to help me because I struggle with organization and my son too. I'm like, great, he gets it from me. So we need to like do that because my husband's very organized. He's opposite me. I'm like the crazy one. He's like the structure guy. So I got to learn from that, but I like the hot list. I'm going to use that. So
It helps.
yeah.
Yep. All right. I love it, guys. Well, I hope this was helpful. And you guys all have an amazing holiday. Happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate and am grateful for each and every one of you. Have a good day, guys. I'll
Happy
upload.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.
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 Bye.